Good morning, everyone. It's already 10 o'clock, so we will start our webinars for today's. Today's we're going to talk what's new in Acumatica 2025. So let's start on the topics. And this is something about me. My name is Eve. So we are from CRT Insights. So this is some of my qualifications. Currently, we are accredited HDR training providers, and I'm an accredited HRDF, sorry. I'm an accredited HRDF trainers. So I'll be more on the business consultants for Acumatica ERP system. So and my industrial background will be more on building materials, heavy equipment, maintenance and repairs for trading and distributions, and of course the maintenance of the port services and shipyard. So for our agenda today, we will talk about the new things that have in Acumatica 2025. So they have to do some improvement on the traceability for the demand and supply. And I'll be showing you on the corrections of this purchase receipt for drop shipment and standards orders. So there are also others functional improvement in the inventory and order management with that have add in a lot of new fields, new columns, new validations in the demand and supply. So what's new in the Acumatica 2025 under the inventory planning, demand and supply? So we have this inventory planning display for Acumatica. So previously, this screen is only used in replenishment module. So, but now they has added in clearer visibility into how the supply is generated. How you're going to check on your documents, how you're going to check on your forecast item. Then next also, they are able to identify the exactly parent of the demand source from your kit, from your sales that is related to the product. And additional, they have add in these consolidations. So under these consolidations record ID, they actually put in multiple demand record able to be merged into one single document, one single supply documents. That means you can combine everything into one PO. You can combine everything into one forecast bucket. Okay, then later I'll be showing you on the system on this numbering sequence and also the consolidation record ID where it sits in. And for this numbering sequence, they have added a system generated PO. That means we are not able to change anything. So it gives you a clearer visibility on these POs created is because it's due from your inventory planning, which is we call that DRP, the demand supply planning forecast created purchase order. So for those who are new in the retail's distributions or demand supply, so before we jump into the Acumatica, so we talk about this retail distribution network first. So in the distribution networks, normally the suppliers will send in the inventory to you. For examples, we have these suppliers on top. They will distribute the goods to your distribution center. And then after that, you will distribute to your outlet store. So, but why the supplier sits on top instead of at the bottom? Because when we say DRP, demand is from the outlet. So DRP actually stands for demand for the retail, and then we do the planning. After we do the planning and forecast, we inform our distribution centers that will manage our outlets to give us to transfer the inventory back to the outlet stores or to do the ordering of the goods from the supplier. So under this DRP system now, for Acumatica 2025, actually they have put a lot of enhancement in the DRP. So what they can do is, on the outlet stores, we have all the data that the products is being sold. And then we also have our safety stock in our outlet stores. So on the outlet stores, we have all the data pushed back to our DC or sub-DC, which manage the outlet inventory, everything's. So from the forecast, they will be combine everything's and update to our main DC for the central hub of the inventory purchases and the distribution as well. Okay, so that is why outlet sits on the below and the supplier sits on the top. Because the supplier will be the one after they got all the consolidation of your purchase order, and then they will do the distributions at one go. Sorry, the supply at one go. So why this enhancement, it is matters for you. So for previous version, I would say in earlier release, the planners and the schedulers, they will often face the challenges such as they do not know the labeling, they do not know the document reference number, where are these forecasts from, how they do the forecast is from the sales or is from a safety stock or is from a forecast. So they do not have this traceability. So which the enhancement comes in, okay, then we will have the traceability on all the documents. These come from which type of plannings? It is from a forecast or it is from a sales order. So current, we have the limited visibility into which documents that driving the supply and the demand changes for the current version, for the earlier versions. And earlier versions also, there is a difficulty to trace the consolidated demand back to which originating records. That means I do not know this is from a sales order or this is from a transfer or this is from a kit or I need to do a manufacturing to do this forecasting back. So we do not have this consolidated demand checking on the records, previous versions. And in the previous versions also, there are inconsistent planning screen, and also we need to drill down further. We need to manually go to the document itself to drill down. And now there is enhancement for us. We can directly drill down from the forecasting listing. So let's go to the next one. For new versions, 2025, Acumatica, we have enhancement in this inventory planning display. Okay, so the system now has these generated supply documents. And I mentioned earlier, they have actually put in a numbering sequence under PLPO, but this is a fixed numbers. We cannot change it our own. So it's a system generated PO to show you that if you are using this inventory planning display to create a purchase order, it will be under these sets of PO numbers. So it clearly defines that this is a system generated PO. The PO generated is according to the forecast, according to the planners, according to the numbers that you have put in. Okay, besides that, let's move to the system for more fields. So this is our landing page for 2025 versions. So on these 2025 versions, all the dashboards cubes has changed. So you can actually easy drag and drop like previously, and they have actually a better in the user interface for you to see. Okay, then we have actually the global search functions remains the same. You can actually key in the menu that you want to search, and we go for our inventory planning display screen. So this is the 2025 R2 user interface. It has changed from their classic UI into a modern UI. So now this is a modern UI screen. Okay, the improvements comes in is there is a generated supply document, which there is a prefix purchase order number for you created here to tells you this is a system generated purchase order. If you would like to process this, then we just have to tick and process this into a purchase order. Okay, I will show you the function later. Besides that, there are additional fields created to show you this forecast is come from which document. Is from a forecast or is from the planning requirement that is according to our safety stock, or it is a plan transfer demand, which is from the DRP that we have to transfer the goods from our HQ or regional warehouse to our outlet. So the enhancement here, they have added in the DRP engine, and also to tells you this forecast is from which document. Okay, then next we also have the functions that is telling you the transfer of the goods will be from which warehouse. This is the which warehouse to transfer and transfer to the destination warehouse. So besides that, we go to our next screen. The enhancement inclusive of the configurations that I mentioned just now, we are able to consolidate the demand. Okay, so the setting is actually, this is actually a one-time settings. So you will use the days of supply to consolidate all your orders, or you may use a long-term consolidate bucket, and then you put the consolidated days and the bucket days to do the consolidations on our inventory planning display here to console the numbers and console the dates. Then they will console the documents for you. So once this is console, there is a consolidation ID being showing there to tell you this is actually a consolidated document, and it will show under the related documents here. So actually this enhancement will give more it will give more visibility to the planners on how this supply is generated. So from the demand from the document, then we can able to drill in. We're able to drill in and see this is the forecast listing. So this is the forecasted ID. And this is the inventory IDs that I'm going to purchase. And this is the quantity I will need to purchase. And when is the start date that I will need to, the start date of this forecast quantity. My sales comes in, this is actually for the January, and this is actually the January sales. Sorry, this is actually the March sales. because my current month is at the first, so that is the March sales. So the additional enhancement as well, they have this related parent document and also related product document. On these related parent documents and also the related product document is actually telling you the demands from where. Okay, these demands, when there is a sales order numbers coming in, then it mentions this is actually from a sales order document. If it starts from the F, this is actually a forecast model. So forecast model, I'll be showing you the functions later. So when we generate the forecast, it will generate a forecast document. So it will be stored in this inventory planning display for you to continue the further actions, whether you want to follow the system forecast to do the replenishment, or you will do the adjust of the quantity that is being forecasted before you do the ordering of the replenishment of your stock. Okay, if we have this related parent documents that is in manufacturing, we are able to see the exactly parent demand source. So for the retail, we have sales order. For the manufacturing, we have the multi-level BOM or our kit or the bundle demand to show in this parent document. Okay. Then next we have this additional enhancement on the inventory planning results by item. So the systems comes in with additional processing screens to tells you that what is the current quantity on hand of these t-shirts in my warehouse. So, and what is the requirement plan, which is the DRP, and what is the forecasted for this DRP perform for this particular month. Then you will have a more clear and visibility on the forecasting. It is according to our sales, and we should have on-hand quantity. Our projected on-hand quantity is how much? Let's say for these scenarios, our projected on-hand quantity is 2,700 pieces of t-shirts to be sits into the warehouse during January. And then we actually have these 2,210 sales that will be coming in. Okay, according to our previous sales record, sales data. So they will calculate, and then they will give you these forecast numbers that you at least will need to replenish 2,400 pieces of the t-shirts. So how does this works? So let me go through you this forecast. For 2025, there is an enhancement in this generate forecast. So from here, you actually have to put in this is the forecast for which month or which year for your forecasting date. And this is actually a regular type of forecasting or just based on that particular seasonality. For example, we do on the regular first. Okay, And I'm not doing for all inventory. I'll just do on this t-shirt as only. Then I would like to check if my sales grow for 10%. So I want to check back all my 3 years records. And I want to check back my 3 years records. This is to check back our years of records. So let me calculate the forecast by month. So when I do the calculate, then it will tells me for January 2026, my sales will be 1,785. That means I must at least replenish 1,785 pieces of t-shirts. And then this is for my February, this is for my March. Okay, then if we would like to do the adjustment, you think 1,700 is too high, you want to do an adjustment, actually we can just do a recalculate again. So again, we select the date, then we put in the recalculate of the growth rate is actually 5% now. Then we count in our 3 years record. So I just want to take half of my 3 years record. Then we calculate by month. So we just have to recalculate the forecast. Then we got a new numbers here. Okay, if you think you don't want to follow the calculations, and then by the planner's guts feels, I just want to order 1,700. We can actually do manual changes in here. Then they will auto calculate the percentage for you. Okay, then we have to actually process these. So once this is processed, okay, we will have the engine. This is actually a system engine, which we do not have to do this manually. We can actually configure this as a job queue to be run during non-peak hours. So the system will actually calculate for you. But because we are doing a webinar, so I'm showing you here in the screen. So we will do this processing to update the forecast that we have created earlier. So once the processing has been completed, then we will go to our forecast listing. So this is the latest forecast listing that we created earlier. 1,700, 1,350, and then 1,800. So we have created the forecast listing. Then we can actually go to check our inventory planning display again. Let me filter the stock first. So here comes the system will tells you this is actually your forecasted line that you created earlier. Okay, then they will tell you this is actually from forecast. And they will actually tell you this is from which forecast listing. Then they will show you here the interval, how many times you run this forecast. Okay. So if we are going to perform our orders, so we just have to select the numbers, select the quantity, or select the forecast line that you want to order. Okay, and then the system actually will tell you, oh no, this one you don't have to order. This is a transfer from other warehouse because this is actually a retail sales data. So you can actually perform the transfer directly from the system. You're going to transfer from which warehouse to the retail warehouse. Then we can actually create our transfer document. So the system has created the transfer order for you. The number is 8520. So let's go to our transfer order. $8520 is created. Directly, it will tell you the destinations is to send all these 4,850 pieces of t-shirts from your wholesale warehouse to the destination's retail warehouse. So if you do not have any available stocks, they will tell you you do not have any on hand now. So then we have to create our purchase order. Okay, that's our transfer flow. Then let's go back to our inventory planning display screen. So if we would like to purchase, it's actually the same action. We would need to select the lines and we will click on the purchase. The system will tell you this is to purchase and purchase from which vendor. And then when we click on the create actions, the document has been created, 2772. Then let's go to our purchase order again. On our PO, 2772 is created. Then we just have to verify the numbers and send out the purchase order. So we just have to verify the numbers. And then if there is any approval workflows, of course, it will trigger the approval workflows. Then we just confirm our transactions. Okay, that's the enhancement in the inventory planning display. Besides that, the 2025 versions, we are able to do the SKU by specific locations. So this SKU, the stock keeping unit, by specific locations is we can actually tell the system for this item, for this example item, the lead, okay, when my warehouse is at my distribution center in Sabah. So our source is actually to transfer from my distribution center in the regional office. Then I can actually put in a different safety stock here. Just now, for example, my regional maybe have 1 million of safety stock for this lead. But my Sabah, I just need to do a safety stock level on 300,000 pieces. So we can actually override this that is different from our regional DCs settings. So this is actually the SKU by specific locations. Then next, we will say something about the new things in purchase receipts. In our previous versions, purchase receipts, for posted purchase receipts, there is no corrections functions. So we will need to do multiple manual workaround, like we have to create a purchase return notes then only we can do a returns, or we need to do some negative adjustment in our inventory adjustment module. Otherwise, we would, let's say the AP bill already posted, then we will need to reverse the AP bills and then we do the returns or we do the negative adjustment in our item journal as well. So these creations of the documents, when there is no corrections functions, they give you, actually sometimes they actually created a lot of extra documents that will clutter your audit trail. So you will need to check a lot of documents. You will need to perform multiple steps of the returns or adjustment to fix your mistakes. And then the mistake in the cost, for example, in the AP bill posted, which you impacted the AP bill because we need to do the correction, we need to reverse the AP bills. What if the AP bill has been paid? So when it is paid, then we do a reverse, then worse, you will have a cost impacting here. So there is also some examples when you have a foreign currency transactions, the gain loss impacts as well in the cost. And also the time consuming. When we do not have any correction functions previously, it is taking a lot of times because you need to ask the finance to reverse your AP bill first, then only you are able to do the purchase returns or the inventory adjustment. So if you do not do all these steps in a correct sequence, there is also a risk to have a data inconsistency. So I will rather say now, 2025 onwards, Acumatica has introduced these dedicated options for you to correct your receipts or cancel the purchase receipts. Then it will make your process more faster and also cleaner. Of course, with conditions, the AP bills, which is the purchase invoice, are not able to be posted first. If you already released your AP bill or posted your AP bills, of course, we will still do the reverse of the AP bills. Okay, as long as the AP bills is not posted, we still have these correct receipt functions or the cancel receipts functions. So this is actually the enhancement. Let me enlarge the screen slightly bigger. This is our previous versions, 2024 versions and below. There is no corrections functions. You will only have print receipts, okay, or print reports. Then in our 2025 versions, they have put in the enhancement. We able to correct our purchase receipts as long as there is no AP bills. Okay, so when you see this, let's go to the system again. Just now we have this purchase order created. So let me show you. Okay, I have a PO created. I'll just do a new GRN, a new purchase receipt. So let's say I have received all the quantity, but I don't do any AP bill first. And I'm telling the system this is under which PO number. So once this is confirmed, fully received, then I press release. In our previous versions, we have to select the line and we have to do the return in order to reverse these purchase receipts. But now, what's good is we have these correct receipts. Then I will say to the system, oh, just now I received the wrong quantity. So I press the correct receipts. Then I will say the new document. This is a new document. Okay, then I will only have 50 pieces now. Then I'll save and release. So in the other steps here, they will tell you this is the journal entries. This is the original document reference number. You see now, this is my new purchase receipts, 2718. So they will tell you earlier, you actually created one purchase receipts that you do wrong. Then when you click in from here, you're able to drill in and see the documents that the status has been cancelled. So this is actually the earlier one that you have received 300 quantity, the pieces. So they have cancelled the purchase receipts for you. Then this is the new one created with the 50 pieces of t-shirts. So let's go to check our purchase order as well. In our purchase order, under the PO history, there is only one document being recorded, which is the 50 quantities. So they will not show the one that you have cancelled. If you want to see the one that you have cancelled, we just have to drill in back to our purchase receipt and see it. And it actually tells you you have ordered 300 quantity. The quantity on the receipts is only 50. Okay, so how to drill back? Then we just have to click on the hyperlink. And the system will tell you this is actually the correct one, 50. Again, if you want to confirm the old one, then we can actually click on here. There is a corrections, tells you you have to do a corrections in the earlier purchase receipts, and this is the documents that has been cancelled. Okay, so from the process, my process earlier, okay, it is actually successfully reversed everything from the system. So why I say so, let's go to the others here. Then they will tell you this is the, okay, let me open the cancel document first. Under the cancel document, we will see this inventory, the item journal. It is telling me debit 1,002 to my inventory assets. And then after that, I have a credit amount into my inventory purchase accruals. Okay, so when I do the reverse, the document has been cancelled. So let's go to the purchase receipts, the new one. Under the financial batch here, they will tell you they only debit 200 to my inventory asset and they credit 200 to the inventory purchase accrual. Then they have additional entries because we do the reversal earlier. So it has credit out 1,002 from the inventory asset earlier in the earlier transactions, and also debit back the 1,200 to the inventory purchase accrual. So they will direct reverse the document in the latest purchase receipt that you have saved. So we don't have to do multiple documents. We just have to do a corrections of a purchase receipts, and GL journal created for you, inventory journal they have created for you, and also the corrections of the entries the system has created for you. So when we have these entries created by the systems, it gives you more times and save times for you. You don't have to do a lot of manual returns document. Just one click and then save your times. Okay, and it actually reduce more error. Okay, and this also makes your receiving process be much more easier, especially for those companies that have thousands or hundreds of receipts daily. Okay, then besides here, for the documents that has created with the original documents link here, you're able to trace back. This will give you more clean traceability, because when my auditors and managers, they want to check why you have a cancelled document. You can directly show them in the system, I have cancelled. And then this is actually my new purchase receipts. And why I cancel? Because I received a wrong quantity. Then the documents are all reversed, and it will show you a connections telling you, I have my new numbers. I also give you my old cancelled document numbers. Then we actually can link back everything, and then this will be more clean in the traceability and also the audit trail. Okay. So next, we also have new things in the drop shipment. In our previous versions, there is also drop shipments. Okay, in our previous versions, there is also have a drop shipments in the Acumatica, but on the new versions now, 2025, they allows you to do drop shipment PO for the intercompany purchases. So for example, you have a sister company and you are a HQ. So when you receive a sales in HQ, sometimes you will outsource the purchase to your sister company. That means you use another arm to do a purchase, and then another arm, the sister company, will do the delivery to your client. So we will use the drop shipment in the system. And now Acumatica allows you to create intercompany purchase directly from drop shipment purchase order. So for the enhancement, it's actually helps you to easily handle your dropships return to the external customer. Like just now I say there is a correction functions. So these corrections functions also brings into the drop shipment functions in Acumatica 2025. So, let's go to a drop shipment scenario. Okay, when drop shipment, I receive a sales from my client. For this example, I'm using a computer scenario. Okay, then my customer is actually Author Ace. So under here, we actually have the computers put in the documents. In our sales order, we are selling 5 units of this computer to Author Ace. The important part is we need to check on the mark for PO, and this is actually a dropship PO. Okay, then once we have created a sales order with a drop shipment PO, next what we're gonna do is we need to create the purchase order. Okay, on top just now we have the create purchase order button. Then we just have to click on the purchase order button. It will bring us to this create purchase order screen. So what we need to do is to confirm the computers that we want to purchase on the quantity and purchase from which vendor. So I'm doing a purchase to my intercompany. Earlier, we are product retails. Now I'm going to buy this computer from my product wholesales company. Okay, so when we click process, our purchase order has been created. Okay, and then created with the link of the SO number. Then we will know actually this document is from my HQ SO. We can actually drill in. Of course, this is with access right. Okay, then besides that, we continue our process. when the stocks has reached the warehouse, okay, the clients do the receivings. We just have to do a purchase receipts, okay, and then we release our purchase receipts. Then it will tell you this purchase receipts is with which PO number and which SO number. So let's go to our system now. First, we will create a sales order. Like I mentioned, I have multiple companies. Then I will go to my retail company to create a sales order. Currently, I am in my retail company. So I'm selling a computer to Order Ace with 10 units of computers. Then the system telling you do not have stocks. Okay, then we will need to purchase. So when purchase, we select drop shipment because I want my sister company to direct ship from their end instead of do this stock to come back to my warehouse. Okay, then we just have to click on the create purchase order. Then we just have to confirm the computers and then purchase from which vendor. So we're going to purchase from our sister company. Then we just have to process. Purchase order is created and they tells you you're going to buy from your sister company. And then it's actually links to which sales order number. So we just have to confirm the numbers. Then we just proceed the next. Okay. So comes in when the clients going to receive the stocks. So we just have to do our purchase receipts. Okay, then we have to release our document. The same things, we go back to our sales order. And then it's telling me now your sales has been completed. But we have not do anything in our sales, right? We just create a sales order, right? So why is completed? Because we are doing a drop shipment. So when we go to our shipments, right, it actually use the purchase receipts that you received earlier from your sister company. That means you don't have to create additional receipts document or additional shipments document, sorry, to your customer. You may use this as the DO document, and then you can directly perform the invoice. Okay, and we talk about the enhancement we have in 2025 is actually the corrections. Just now we have do a receiving on these 10 units of computers, right? Then we actually can do corrections of the receipts. Okay, as long as the AP bills has not been posted, we still have the chance to do the corrections. Then you can actually create a new document says, oh no, we only deliver 8 units. There is still have 2 units pendings to deliver. So once this is released, same, they will tell you your original document is what document number, and then you have actually canceled this document. You have actually canceled. Then this is your new document. And when we go back to our sales order, under our shipments, it will take the latest document that is being corrected. So you don't have to do multiple documents just to link back your sales and link back your purchase order, and you do a wrong receipt and then you have to redo everything. This will save you a lot more of times. Okay, and then this also give you transparencies when you want to do auditing, and transparency of you want to do troubleshooting, you want to check these documents, where is the receipts, we can actually direct hyperlink, click on the hyperlink, and we're able to drill in. So for the drop shipment will be more easier. We have to do all the way around to create a new SO bag, and then to create a PO bag, and then only we start to do the correct receipts. We just have to do the corrections of the purchase receipts, and then it saves your time. So that's the enhancements that we'll be sharing for today's sessions. So thank you for your time. Do me a favor, submit this training survey form for me, and we will actually share out the slide to use according to the email that we receive. Thank you very much for your time.